Hi, it's Karina, and I will be showing you how to make this really cool double infinity bracelet. It is my own creation, and if you are a beginner, you should have no problem with this bracelet because it is easy peasy. So let's get started. You will need a loom and a hook, of course, 12 green bands and 12 red bands, and somewhere around 34 orange bands for the border and for the extension. You might need a little more or a little less depending on how big or small your wrist is. And you will also need a C-clip. So before you begin this bracelet, make sure the arrows on your loom are pointing away from you. You're going to take one orange band first, place it from the bottom middle peg to the bottom left peg. Then you're going to place one forward from that bottom left peg. And you're just going to be placing bands all the way up the loom on the left side in a straight line. And just stop when you get to the second to last peg. And also make sure you're pushing your bands down as you go. So once you get to the second to last peg, you are just going to place one orange band in from that second to last left pin. Left pin. So now you're going to go back down to the bottom of your loom. You're going to place another orange band diagonally out to the right side, and you're just going to be placing bands forward on the right side just like we did on the left side. And like I said, stop when you get to the second to last pin. So once you get to the second to last pin, you're going to place one diagonally in just like you did on the other side. So once you've done that, you're going to go back to the bottom of your loom and you are going to start placing the infinity bands. So first you're going to take double green bands, twist it into a figure 8, and place it from this peg to that peg. And just make sure your bands are just laying on the top of that middle peg. You're going to take double green bands again, twist it into a figure 8, and place it from this peg to that peg. Now you're going to be doing red bands. Take double red bands, twist it into a figure 8, and this time place it from this peg to that peg. And like I said, just make sure those bands are resting on the top of that middle peg. Twist it into a figure 8 and this pin to that pin. And you're just going to be continuing this pattern up the loom. So now we're using green bands. This pin to this pin. And this pin to that pin. And make sure you're using double bands every time. And you do not have to push these bands down. If you want to, that's totally fine, but you don't have to. So once you get to your last set of pegs, you're going to do the same thing as always. Oops. There we go. Okay, So once you're done placing those infinity bands, your loom should look something like this. Okay, so before we begin looping, you're going to take one orange band and you're going to make a capping band. This is how you do it. You take one single band, twist it into a figure 8, and then turn it back on itself. So it should look like a doubled band. And just place it on that top center pin, right there. Okay, so now we're going to start looping. Before you begin looping, turn your loom around so the arrows are pointing towards you. So we're going to start at this bottom center pin. We're going to go inside that capping band, take the top orange band, not counting the capping band, and loop it over to the left side. Now you're going to go inside the capping band again, take the bottom orange band and loop it over to the right side. Now you're going to loop these orange bands all the way up on the left side. So you're just going to go in, take the bottom orange band and loop it forward. Oops, that's 2 orange bands. And make sure you're grabbing the right orange band. Loop it forward. Go in, take the bottom orange band, loop it forward. Go in, bottom orange band, forward. And you're just going to be doing that until you reach the end of the orange bands. Go in, take the bottom orange band, forward. It's just like looping a single chain. Okay, so once you've gotten to the last peg of orange bands, you're going to go in, take that bottom orange band and loop it diagonally into the center. Now you're going to go back to the bottom of your loom and loop where you left off, right here. So you're going to go in, take that bottom orange band, loop it forward. You're going to be doing the exact same thing we did on the other side. And make sure your bands don't slip off when you loop them forward. Like mine just did right there. Oops, there we go. So once you get to the top of your loom, you're going to do the same thing that we did on the left side. Go in, take the bottom orange band and loop it diagonally to the top middle peg. So now your loom should look like this. Okay, so before we take our bracelet off the loom, we're going to stick our hook through that top middle peg and stick it out the other side, just like that. Make sure you're not grabbing onto any bands, any of these orange bands right there. You're going to take an orange band, stretch it from the hook, from the end of the hook. Oops. There we go. And it keeps coming off. There we go. And bring it. Sorry about this. There we go. Bring it back up and through that pin and put both sides of the band on the thick part of your hook. There we go. And now you can remove your bracelet from the loom. So, your bracelet should look like this. You might have a few sticking out or something like that, but you can push them back in and even them out if you need to. So now you're going to make an extension. You can set your bracelet aside for now. To make an extension, you're going to turn your loom around so the arrows are pointing away from you. You are going to place bands in a single chain, single line in on either set of pegs. I'm doing mine on the right side. For an adult, you might need 6 or more bands, but for a kid, you'll probably need 5 or under. One more orange band. And there we go. So once you've placed all your bands, you can turn your loom around so the arrows are pointing towards you. You are going to ever so carefully take these 2 loops off your hook and place them right here on the loom. Just like that. Now you're going to loop these forward just in a single chain like we did on the bracelet. And oops. There we go. Okay. So it's just like in a single chain. Very simple. So once you've looped all of them, and it's okay if they slip off like that, just put them back on. Once you've looped all of them, you can carefully take it off your loom. And do not take this last set of bands off. I like to stretch mine to the pin next to it so that creates a space for me to put my C-clip. I can just scoop up those bands with my C-clip and take that off my loom. So now you can take the capping band on the other side of your bracelet and just place the other side of your place those bands on the other side of your C-clip. So there you have your double infinity bracelet. Thanks for watching.